You've been doing everything right. Eating less, moving more, counting every calorie like it's a part-time job. And still the belly stays. The scale barely moves. The energy crashes by 2 p.m. every single day. That's not a willpower problem. That's your metabolism running in the wrong mode. And today, I'm going to show you exactly why and exactly how to fix it. By the end of this video, you'll understand all 7 biological shifts that happen when you fast, from the very first hour to the changes that take weeks to fully feel. We're going from basic to advanced, simple to extraordinary. And I promise you, the last 2 benefits on this list are the ones most people never even hear about. Most people think intermittent fasting is just a trendy way to skip breakfast. Eat less, lose a few pounds, done. But that's like looking at the ocean and only seeing the surface. Because beneath that surface, your biology is doing something it has been designed to do since the day you were born. Something that no calorie-counting diet, no fat-burning supplement, and no amount of cardio can replicate. And here's the danger nobody talks about. Every time you eat, every snack, every sugary coffee, every handful of crackers at 10 p.m., you spike insulin. And when insulin is elevated, your body has one job: store fat. Not burn it, store it. Most men are spiking insulin 10, 12 times a day. The body never gets the signal to switch. The engine never shifts gears. It just keeps overheating. And the damage goes way beyond your waistline. Inflammation building quietly in your arteries. Brain fog so chronic you've accepted it as normal. An energy system so overwhelmed your body is aging faster than it should. The fix isn't eating less. It's eating when. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why that changes everything. Let's start at benefit 1, the foundation. The one every fast begins with, and the one that makes everything else on this list possible. The moment your fast begins, your body starts dropping insulin. And this matters more than most people realize. When insulin is elevated, which it is every time you eat, fat cells are physically locked. The hormone blocks the very enzymes needed to release stored fat. You literally cannot burn fat when insulin is high. Think of insulin like a bouncer at the door. While he's on duty, nobody leaves. Fasting sends him home. Insulin drops back to baseline. The lock opens, and your fat cells, those energy reserves you've been trying to access for years, finally become available. Dr. Mark Mattson's landmark review in Cell Metabolism confirmed this directly. Intermittent fasting dramatically reduces fasting insulin and improves insulin sensitivity, even in people who didn't lose significant weight. The metabolic shift starts before the scale moves even 1 pound. That's benefit 1. Solid. Important. But honestly, it's just the beginning. Because benefit 2 is where it starts getting surprising. Here's something most people don't realize about fasting. It doesn't just burn fat. It triggers a hormonal surge that most men haven't experienced since their 20s. Around hour 16 to 24, your body begins releasing human growth hormone, HGH. Not a little. Studies show it can spike up to 500% during an extended fast. 500. This is the hormone responsible for fat breakdown, muscle preservation, tissue repair, and physical vitality. It's the hormone that flooded your system as a teenager. The reason you could eat anything at 16 without consequences. And fasting is one of the only proven ways to naturally bring those levels back up as an adult. Here's what that means practically. HGH accelerates fat breakdown while simultaneously protecting lean muscle. So fasting, done correctly, doesn't eat your muscle. It eats your fat. This isn't suffering. This is your biology doing exactly what it was built to do. Now, if benefit 2 surprised you, benefit 3 is the one that won a Nobel Prize. And most people have never heard of it. This is where we move from impressive to genuinely life-changing. There's a process that activates inside your cells during a fasted state. One that Yoshinori Ohsumi won the 2016 Nobel Prize in Physiology for discovering. It's called autophagy. The word literally means self-eating. And before that sounds alarming, hear this out because it's extraordinary. When your body enters a deep fasted state, your cells activate an internal recycling program. They begin identifying and consuming their own damaged components. Misfolded proteins linked to disease, dysfunctional cellular structures dragging your energy down, biological debris that accumulates over decades of modern living. Your cells find all of it, break it down, rebuild it clean. Think of autophagy as microscopic janitors who only clock in when the kitchen is closed. Every time you eat around the clock, you're keeping them locked outside. When you fast, you let them in, and they scrub your cells from the inside out. Dr. Walter Longo at USC has linked robust autophagy to dramatically reduced risks of cancer, Alzheimer's, and cardiovascular disease. For men over 40, this isn't just impressive. This is the closest thing science has found to biological renewal. And it only switches on when you stop eating. Now, benefits 1, 2, and 3 are already powerful. But benefit 4 introduces something counterintuitive that most people completely misunderstand about fasting. Most people assume that the longer they fast, the more drained and foggy they'll feel. The opposite happens. Around hour 12 to 16, your liver glycogen, your glucose reserve, begins depleting. And your body, rather than panicking, does something elegant. It starts converting stored fat into ketones. These aren't just backup fuel. They're signaling molecules that reduce inflammation, stabilize mood, and sharpen cognition in ways that glucose simply cannot. Your brain runs cleaner. Your thinking gets crisper. And here's the paradox. The more consistently you fast, the less hungry you feel over time. Because a metabolically flexible body is never truly running on empty. It's sitting on thousands of calories of stored energy, always ready to use. The hunger you feel isn't starvation. It's habit, and habits can be retrained. But what happens to your brain specifically during this shift? That's benefit 5. And this one genuinely floors people. Have you ever noticed that you think more clearly when you haven't eaten? Drop a yes in the comments right now, because the science behind why that happens is remarkable, and I want to know how many of you have felt it. Fasting triggers a significant release of BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Scientists call it miracle grow for your brain. It promotes the growth of new neurons, strengthens connections between existing ones, and actively protects against the kind of neurodegeneration that becomes a real concern as men age. That razor-sharp focus around hour 18 of a fast isn't placebo. It's evolution. When our ancestors went without food, their brains didn't slow down. They lit up. Sharper. More creative, more alert, because a hungry man needed to be a better hunter. That ancient code is still inside you. At 50, at 60, at 65, fasting unlocks it. Now, most fasting videos stop right here. But benefits 6 and 7 are the ones that surprised even me. And benefit 7 especially. Almost nobody talks about this one. Here's something most people never connect to fasting. Chronic inflammation. You've heard the term, but do you understand what it's silently doing right now? It's not the swelling after a sprained ankle. It's a systemic fire burning inside your arteries, your joints, your brain, every single day. Every processed meal fans it. Every blood sugar spike adds fuel. Over years, that fire drives heart disease, diabetes, cognitive decline, and accelerated aging. It's the damage you don't see coming until it's already done. Fasting douses it. Studies show significant reductions in key inflammatory markers, IL-6, TNF-alpha, C-reactive protein, all dropping measurably during fasting periods. Research published in Cell found that even a single 24-hour fast meaningfully reduced monocyte activation, one of the primary drivers of arterial inflammation. Consistent fasting also improves LDL particle size, lowers triglycerides, and reduces blood pressure, outcomes that rival pharmaceutical interventions. No prescription, just time and discipline. That's benefit 6, powerful on its own. But benefit 7, the final one, is the most overlooked benefit of fasting. And for men specifically, it might be the most important thing on this entire list. Your gut never gets a break. When you eat constantly, your digestive system runs around the clock, processing, moving, working, never resting, never repairing. But your gut has a built-in cleaning mechanism that most people have never heard of. It's called the migrating motor complex, a sweeping wave that moves bacteria, debris, and waste through your intestinal tract. It only activates in a fully fasted state. Only. If you're snacking throughout the day, that cycle never runs. The debris accumulates. Bloating, poor absorption, sluggish digestion, it all builds up. Fasting lets that dishwasher finally run. And emerging research links this directly to improved microbiome diversity, reduced bloating, and significantly better nutrient absorption from the food you do eat. After everything on this list, the fat burning, the HGH surge, the cellular repair, the brain clarity, the inflammation reset, this is the one that ties it all together. Because a gut that functions properly amplifies every other benefit you just heard. Now, before anyone says it, yes, the most persistent myth in fasting is muscle loss. And the science doesn't just challenge that fear. It dismantles it. Your body will not cannibalize muscle when it has thousands of calories of stored fat available. That's not how physiology works. And remember that 500% HGH surge? HGH is actively muscle sparing. It's your body's built-in signal to protect structural tissue while mobilizing fat for fuel. Studies on extended fasting consistently show preservation of lean mass alongside reduction in fat mass. Done correctly, fasting doesn't touch your muscle. It targets your fat. That's not motivation. That's mechanism. Here's what I want you to take away from everything you just heard. Every hour you spend fasting is not an hour of deprivation. It's an hour your cells spend healing, your brain sharpening, your arteries breathing easier, your fat cells finally releasing energy they've been holding onto for years. You are not starving. You are activating. There's a profound difference between the two. Start with 12 hours. Extend to 14, then 16 as it feels natural. Stay hydrated. Be consistent. This is not about perfection. It's about sending your body the right signal repeatedly over time. And the results compound in ways that will genuinely surprise you. If this gave you a real shift in how you understand your metabolism, hit that like button. It helps more men find this channel when they need it most. Subscribe for more science-backed content built for men who are serious about their health. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. And drop your experience in the comments. How long is your current fasting window? And what have you noticed? I read every one. Now go start the fast.